my friends. This is Maerlande. Today I have a special guest who was my teammate in the game we're working on. This is the Crime and Punishment game, Disciples, and my guest is Lucid.
Hey guys, what's going on?
Man, it was pretty cool. I noticed today I've hit 80 followers on Twitch. That was pretty cool. So again, we'll just review a little bit. This is turn 12. Lucid did have to leave the game at, we figured out, turn 25, so he's going to come by for a couple of episodes so he can review things. He couldn't make the first episode, but that was mainly just early expansion. But I think we'll probably take a moment to, I'd like to discuss our Pretender design and why we made those choices, because Lucid was the Pretender and had a lot to do with our decisions on the strategy.
Yeah, I think we had a lot of fun brainstorming.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, even picking the nations was fun, all the drafting and stuff.
Yeah, and we really lucked out on the draft. I mean, 3 power nations. Good grief.
Yeah, we do.
And I've noticed
all 3 of our nations are good early.
Absolutely. And then just to review for anybody, we got Late Age Ulm, Late Age Atlantis, and Late Age Odgard. So the synergies were amazing.
In terms of research too, I think Ulm's the only one that I feel like Atlantis and Utgard, like their research power curve starts really early. Like their mages.
Yes.
Well, I guess Atlantis too. If they even just rushing evocation, they get a bunch of like good. Like Falling Frost is good before hunters for that come out.
Yeah, well, and I mean Tungaliks are very, very efficient, research-wise.
Right.
So that really helps. 9 points. No, I didn't. The scales are just starting to grow for me. And we did we take Magic 3 or only Magic 2?
I think we got 2.
Yeah. Yeah, but these were good scales. They were really quite effective. A bit of turmoil and luck is a fun way to play.
Yeah.
A lot of people say, well, it's not really optimal, and a lot of times I just say, yeah, but it's really fun. All those gems,
I'm not sure. Yeah, I mean, I think... Yeah, I mean, no, I think luck is good. I think it's a good scale, too, in the sense that, like, a lot of games I dump luck, and a lot of games I take luck 3.
Yeah.
It depends on what you're trying to do.
Well, and you did that video where you went over Sir Thomas's analysis, right?
Right.
I found a flaw in that analysis. It's not a flaw that will come up very often, but there is a hard cap on events caused by luck in the game.
Yeah, it's 5. Yeah.
Actually, it looks like it's 10 now.
Is it really?
Yeah, I'm getting 10 in that Nazca game that we were talking about earlier.
That's strange, because I went and checked a few of my really big games. I never saw more than 5.
Well, it's hard for me to know because...
Or anything?
No, I've got one of the Dominions Enhanced Globals up that causes events, and I wasn't able to get a really clear answer. There's actually, it looks like 2 caps. There's one for globals that cause events, and one for luck.
Would you have a Celestial Rainbow?
No, that's not the one I put up. It's we'd have to open that game, and we can pop out for an intermission at some point. But
well, I can just tell you how some of that works. The cap for in-game generated events, like the having nothing to do with, like, just the default event system with luck, that is 5.
Well, but
anything you throw on top of that, like a lot of modding stuff,
yes,
events,
no, that's in addition. Yes,
Bringer of Fortune,
yes,
globals like Celestial Rainbow.
Well, and
none of that affects none of that counts to the 5.
No, and the
but
Firebirds.
Maybe caps on that. I don't know what they are, but you still do have a 5 cap for the base luck stuff.
Well, Red Rob told me that the cap for modding is 1,000.
Okay.
Kind of crazy. That might be what you can mod. Doesn't mean how many happen. Jay Brereton told me he believes the cap is 8 now. It got boosted a bit. Johan answered that there is a cap, but he wouldn't tell me what it is.
Good for you, hon.
You know, and that's quite typical. Yeah. Yeah, you ask, because I go ask questions in the beta forum where it's just roughly 10 of us, and he answers about half my questions, and the others, I don't get a response.
Yeah.
So, anyways, but the point being is somewhere around 40 provinces, maybe 60, you'll stop getting benefit from luck, which isn't going to happen very often.
I'm trying to think. I feel like it. Yeah, maybe around 60.
I think it's around 60. I did tests of it way back, but there's been changes to that cap and changes to luck and stuff. Is the stream a bit quiet? Well, I can turn up the gain a little. Well, I don't want the desktop audio very high because it... No, I can't really turn up the gain very much at all. So I'll have to adjust... I'll do some edits to the sound when I move it over to YouTube, but I don't think there's much more I can do. Who've we got visiting? Oh, Rovsy's here, Negative Assurance. Hey, guys. So, yeah. But anyways, let's pop over to you. Where are you? There you are. Now, Pretender's not out, right?
Yeah.
But we could see the scales. So this should be final scales. And we're not really sure if we could look it up. And then Bless... Oh, I can't look at your temple. Where's mine? Right. So Blood Surge is not incarnate, so we've got that already. And then you picked Stygian Skin, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Vulnerability.
Yeah, and we'll see that next turn, particularly on my Arsetuts.
Right.
I was mispronouncing those last time, calling them Acertuts, but it's Arsetuts.
Okay. And y'all's gods are awake already, right?
Yeah, oh yeah, my guy. Yeah, see, this is a funny turn. I screwed up and I stealth moved him, so I wasted one turn. But yeah, so and somebody was saying, and you might remember this, and I can't. Why did I only go with Earth 1?
What do you need more Earth for?
Somebody said, why didn't I don't know. And we were talking about this, and they were asking, what some of my choices are. For example, if I remember correctly, I went Astral 5 so that in late game, if I wanted to, I could do Master and Slave.
Also, you just don't want to get magic dueled,
That too.
Astral 5 is also the threshold for breaking us into high astral.
Well, with full slots, we read it through it, and you could pull off rings with 4, but you have to make a ring of sorcery.
Right, which is kind of wasteful.
Right, so, it's sort of 60 pearls wasted. And then we were having a discussion over on Nexus yesterday about, how often do people actually use rings of wizardry? Most of them said they rarely see them in free-for-all, but I said in Disciples I see them all the time because you can pool the gems and then share one ring amongst your team. Sure. And I know we definitely made some in this game.
I think it depends. I think every game where I have the paths to make it, I probably do if it goes late.
I do too, but the others were saying, that's not really their experience. But I almost always plan for late game, and I guess that's just how I prefer.
It depends if you need it too. Like, how much do you need path boosters?
Right.
Some nations don't really need it that much.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But like our nations, we don't have very high magic paths. We're late age nations, right? So we've got late age Ulm. You're the only nation that has real, true high magic path units.
That's right. Yeah, I got Angacox.
Right.
Which have amazing randoms.
Right.
But, they're really expensive. That's bloody damn expensive, and they're slow to recruit.
Yeah.
Whereas other than that, my Magi are very low path.
Yeah. I feel like, with that, like, if depending on what stuff you want to make and what globals you want to control in the late age, path boosting stuff is like way more important. In the early age, a
Yeah,
lot of nations can easily get pretty high in whatever the schools that are like their schools.
yeah. Like I've got a Kalesa game, and it's common for me to get E4 Yakshas, E5.
Right.
You know, and then what? A third of the Yakshas or something show up with Astral, so they can communion.
Right.
Um, so I don't know. Should we? Do you
I
need
mean,
to?
I mean, the idea is that I think the way we were thinking about it was that we were looking with the disciples. We were looking at two things: path access and being able to like decisively win a first war, or like at least deter aggression.
Mm-hmm. Well, and
And that guy, that Ghost King, is just terrifying.
yeah, because he's the big Ghost King.
Yeah,
You know,
he's the big Ghost King.
ethereal, can buff himself to the max. Somebody said, "Why did I buy him a weapon and a shield?" They said, "Wouldn't you pick armor first?" And I said, "Well, man, but he's got earth, so you're going to get stone skin really quick." So I usually on a Ghost King get a trinket weapon and a trinket shield right off the bat.
Yeah, that's really. I think the shield's good too in the late age with crossbows.
Mm-hmm. Now somebody else said, but his base weapon, it's that scepter, is decent. I suppose, but
Yes.
maybe I just fall back on habit.
It's just 10 armor negating damage, right?
We gotta grab that thing.
You can just discard that thing. This isn't the real game, so you can just throw that sword away.
Oh, right.
You might have to throw both, but
Yeah. Rod of Death. Yeah, so it's magic damage.
I think I would rather have 30 normal damage than 10 armor negating for expanding.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. That was my thought. What did it? We'll just exit without saving and open that back up again. The infamous many games going. So where is he again? Yeah, so 31 damage. Yeah, that's a lot more damage.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with you. For the early
And
expansion.
give you more defense, I'm not sure.
I think so. Yeah. Yeah, well, he's really hard to kill. So, what's his script right now? Yeah, so he's already got Iron Skin and personal regen.
Yeah.
So,
I mean,
that's a beast.
there's no low commitment way to kill that right now.
Mm-mm. No.
I mean, that was too why we were able, I think, to negotiate just his presence, right? To negotiate that awesome farmland from Vettiheim.
Yeah.
Hey, it's like there's literally nothing Vettiheim can. Well, Vettiheim is maybe the one nation that could with enough berserkers.
Yeah.
Or Rimvetti, but depending on what his bless is, but.
Juicily, this is a 12-player, 4 teams of 3 Disciples game. So my team was Lucid and I and Seventh Path. This just a question in the text chat. Yeah, I agree with Rovsi that definitely this guy was specifically picked. Now, what did should be able to see it here. I'm trying to remember what Seventh Path picked as his disciple. Oh, look, he got a crappy event. But his expansion. See, my expansion was much slower than you guys. Partly because of my map move is just so bloody awful. And then one of the odd things is Patala didn't contest this little pond at all.
Yeah. Where's their cap again?
It's
I think
right.
it's at 4th, isn't it?
No, it's right here. No.
Oh, that's it.
No, there.
I think it's...
Right there. 155. So he could have easily sent Nagas here by turn 3. And he didn't.
Yeah. I mean, he wouldn't be able to do anything to the Ghost King.
No, but he could have grabbed one of them and then negotiated. Rather than just let me take him.
Yeah.
But he didn't really talk to me at all that I remember in this game. I talked to Vettiheim a lot.
I would put Patala, I think I would give that. Maybe, I don't know. That's a bad stuff. Think about it, too. You can sail and hit his whole coast.
I know. Yeah.
And I know people were saying, like, he could challenge you underwater. I don't think he could. I mean,
A,
like
a direct challenge.
you can only make so many Nagas, you know, and you can
Yeah.
make like imagine like right now you're a one fort Atlantis. So like maybe he could challenge you underwater now, but once you have forts making all these units, you're gonna way outproduce the Nagas.
Well, I
And
think,
right now you gotta deal with your god. And there's no
yeah.
way he can do that.
But I think one of the comments was, this is turn 12. So I didn't even get into the water until 3 turns ago.
Yeah.
And then I wasted a turn. He could have been here by turn 3. You know, he could have probably beat me to these two.
Yeah, but
Not
then
that
what?
one. I don't know. That's. I guess it's a case.
Like
Well,
how would he hold it in the let's say how would he hold it if you wanted to take it with your god, how would he hold it? And then if he wanted to
yeah.
hold it into like turn 40, how would he hold it?
Well,
I have no idea.
the other thing is he doesn't get underwater forts.
Right.
Whereas
yeah, there's no way to scale underwater.
No. So all he's left with is a few independents and the Nagas. But the other odd thing about Patel's decisions was, for whatever reason, I don't know who picked the fight, but he started fighting Vettiheim. And later on we'll see he used a lot of Nagas against a cold nation. That did not go well.
No, I don't think so.
So I don't have any fights of mine to really show. We can kind of look here. We can see that Utgard's using pretty simple stuff. These gaudy Huskarls, I think, are extremely efficient.
If he has strength plus magic weapons on the Nagas, he could probably kill the Ghost King before regen.
That's possible. I can bring... No, wrong one. I could bring Nagas over for a minute. Oh, somehow or other I got both of them on the same one. Anyways, I don't think it's...
Yeah.
You're right, though. I guess this came up in episode 1 with some of the people who were guests, and they were surprised that Patala didn't contest this at all. But you've got some good points there that...
I mean, Stone Skin, we're only on turn 12. You probably had Stone Skin by like turn 6.
I had it before the Ghost King even came out.
Yeah.
Like, I grabbed
so
Alteration 3.
Gear on him. Once he had that armor and he has Stone Skin, I don't think the Nagas are going to do shit.
Yeah.
They can't kill him before Fear routs him.
Yeah. And he came out turn 6.
Yeah.
Or 7. One or the other. So that's a quick look at... I don't think we need to watch that fight. It's pretty straightforward. But and then you are expanding Templars and Rangers. So very, very straightforward, very effective.
That's a big expansion party. I think
that is. Yeah, well, and then coming up here, you had a lot of... The other thing I commented in episode 1 is you guys, not so much me, you guys did the push far to define our borders and left stuff in the middle. Like, we left all of this till later.
Yeah.
And
I think what happened this map was, and I could be wrong, I might be thinking of a different game, but I think this spot over to the right where we're expanding towards, I think a player was supposed to spawn there, and they didn't. And
yeah,
it had to do with, there are certain start locations that are marked on map nuke maps.
Yeah.
But by default, the game doesn't put in no starts, and you have to go back in and click in all the no starts. And you usually don't have to. The game will try to put you in a start position, but sometimes it messes up and it doesn't put you in a start position, and it will put you in something that isn't marked no start. And I think that's kind of what happened. So somebody got put too close together, and it created this big void over here on this part of the map
that you could use, that you and Utgard. Yeah.
And so somebody said they didn't spawn where they should. And we were like, oh my god, there's nobody over here. And we were just like, right.
Yeah, and you could see that I met up with Vetti and Pan and Mary really early.
Right.
So my expansion to the west was totally constrained.
How many players are in this again? It's
12.
It's 12?
4 teams of 3, right?
No, that's more than 12.
Oh, that is more than 12. Was it 21 then? Maybe there were 6 teams. Why can't I count this?
6 teams of 6. Or 6 teams of 3, so it's...
18 players.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. No, you're right.
Let's see. Okay, I was just trying to think of the map configuration for it. I don't know if we did a 3x6 layout. We might have done like a 4x5 layout with having 2 empty spots too. I can't remember. When you think about map nuke's kind of a grid.
Right. And you set it up, right? Or did somebody else do the admin?
I set it up.
Yeah. So.
But
I've got that map
that
around.
what it was. Maybe it was like a 4x5 configuration, where there were kind of like 2 effective empty capitals.
Could be.
So.
See, Calum is somewhere right around down here. And later on, and we've already found Gath. And I think Gath's capital's right there in 80.
Yeah.
It's very close by there. And Diplo, I think the diplomacy, you did most of the diplomacy deliberately.
Right.
And
yeah, because I knew most of the people.
That and we just wanted to have like one primary contact. But didn't we also use that method where for just local borders we each negotiated independently? Because I remember talking.
I mean, I think people expanded, but I don't know. I think at some point, like I know I negotiated your border with Marignan and Pan.
Well, and I believe we'll
And
see
Vedi.
it coming up. Yeah, Vedi particularly, because I bought this 217 farm off Vedi.
Right.
Mainly the argument was so that I would have the chance to sail from here over this pond if it came to it.
I can't remember. I know the turn we negotiated that with the Ghost King on top, like right next to it.
Yeah.
It's like the diplomacy thing when like the American military sends a cruiser into
Yeah.
the Gulf, and they're like, "We've sent our diplomat over to your embassy."
Isn't that called gunpoint diplomacy or
Yeah.
something like that?
We're here in peace,
Yeah.
but we've got a huge fucking battleship.
Yeah, exactly. Now, do you have another expansion party that fought? No, just the one. So, you've got one here. I'm not sure where you're headed. Actually, it looks like maybe you sort of reached as far as you could and you had to pull back.
Yeah, I think that's. I can't remember. Did we lose a bump with Calum already? I feel like we might have.
I didn't see any bumps when we were doing episode 1. We can
very,
very quickly pop back and have a look. It only takes a second.
Oh no, that's okay. I don't think we did.
Okay. Anything else you want to talk about on 13? Yeah, because I intended this to be mainly an overview. I'm more interested in being able to talk about strategic level choices versus details of scripting. If somebody has questions, we'll definitely talk about scripting. But I mean, this is pretty much overkill.
Yeah.
Something I didn't mention, but I did buy mournfuls and stuff in the beginning of the game, before the scales propagated. If we look here at recruitment.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Well, I didn't have a heck of a lot of choice at the beginning because at the first turns I started out with neutral scales, and so I was seriously short of resources. That's an interesting thing that, the bigger your team and the bigger your starting spread, the slower the scales go to the disciples.
Right. Yeah, that's true.
Although this hero, that helped a lot.
And we're playing, in a disciples game, you don't get a prophet.
That's right.
So, you were there without a prophet, without an awake god, really with just your starting capital temples.
That's right. Got a question here in text chat from Zanzi1. The answer to that is, if you see a battle of interest, absolutely ask me to look at it, and we'll take a look at it. And once I've got more scouts, and I think I did not have great love in getting independent scouts. Yeah, see, there we go. Finally, I'm getting some independent scouts. So that was a function, and we left this throne here in 271 for a long time because it was kind of more useful to keep it as a buffer than worry about it.
Let's watch that Ghost King battle. I want to see just how overkill
Sure.
the Ghost King is. Because obviously it's not like a hard
Well,
challenge.
that's not much of a fight. The spear
tritons.
tritons.
Like if he gets how much damage gets done to him.
But if it was Shark Tribe,
Yeah.
he might have got hurt. I'll speed it. I'll put it on verbose, so we might want to see the rolls.
Yeah.
Speed it up for a bit. So, yeah, just the 3 buffs, and very satisfactory fatigue. Oh, I think one of the suggestions for Earth 2 is so that he could cast Earth Power without a gem. But...
like, very clearly in the nice-to-have list.
But was it worth the points? Yeah.
And, I mean, that's only useful before you have Soul Vortex, too. Once you have Soul Vortex, you don't really care.
Yeah. No, so they're not even touching him. Some of them are getting chilled. And they run away.
You didn't even need personal... I mean, he got 0 points of damage.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well... Like, he's not able to repel with a sword. But
right.
They're not even hitting him.
Yeah. Yeah.
Partly
he takes
because...
0 damage, I thought. You didn't even need their regen.
Yeah, like, he's getting some harassed, but he's still sitting at a nice defense.
Right. But that combined with 27 protection, there's like a lot of layers of defense going on there.
There sure is, yeah. And that's the nice thing about a Ghost King is just what you said, the layers of defense. Because underwater, there's a lot of piercing, so skeletal body is quite valuable. And he's got, and the invulnerability's up. So...
Oh, right.
So that also helps his protection.
Well, it's overridden by Iron Skin, but it would have, yeah.
That's right. You're correct there. Yeah, we'll see that the effect of the invulnerability better on the Arsetuts.
What's his fatigue right now?
It's probably just sitting there. It's gone down a wee tiny bit. Why did it go down?
He's got 0 encumbrance and blood surge going.
Oh, right. So. It's the blood surge, yeah.
He is fatigue neutral too, so you don't even really need Earth Power that much at all.
No, you don't. Nice though if you were like when he starts becoming a caster.
Yeah.
But messenger boots are easy.
Yeah. Cool. Thanks for looking at that.
Yeah, no problem. And maybe I wouldn't mind taking a bit of a look here. Let's just see what I did for script. I mean, this is a little on the fancy side for killing a few independents. I think those militia were just a lucky event. Rovsi's saying he thinks picking a little more nature like I did was better than worrying about the E2. And that could very well be. But I do remember we had a long discussion, not long, but we bounced around, moving a point of magic up here and a point up there.
Yeah. We talked a good bit about exactly each point in there.
Yeah. But I can't see. I'm trying to find Seventh's disciple.
He was over to the right at some point. Oh, I remember when we were pushing to the right, he was towards the right. But...
Yeah, so I'd just like to find him because I don't have the pins. I didn't save them. I probably should have, but I don't have the pictures of him. Didn't he take the bog mummy?
Yeah.
That's what it was, the bog mummy. I don't know where the heck the thing is.
One of those provinces that has just sometimes his sprite wouldn't show up.
Yeah. Bog mummy, bog. And see, I can't. Oh, it got killed.
Did it really? I don't remember this happening at all.
Yeah, he came up against wardens.
I do remember this. It was the heroine. She has a sword that does damage versus larger.
Oh, okay.
He smacks the dog shit out of it.
Yeah.
Or it's like a hero lance or something.
Yeah, so he went with length and good buff pass. Of course, it's immortal, so, I think if I remember right, I think he was deliberately bumping man.
Right.
Just for the hell of it.
Normally murder these dudes.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of.
I'll speed it up a little. So you're thinking it's...
Yeah,
Oh, yeah, 3 attacks. Oh, yeah.
But look at the hero blade. Click on that.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, man. Oh, jeez.
Yeah.
That's why. Well, good memory. Good memory that you remembered that. Let's just see how it plays through. I'll just really speed it up. until they meet. Ooh. Okay, his mirror image got popped by what, a javelin? No, crossbows. Sorry. Okay, and here he comes. Boy, he's pretty fast. What's his combat speed? Oh, only 10. I guess it's just looking fast. Jeez, they're penetrating quite a lot. So far it's just crossbows.
He has no regen.
No regen.
He probably would have died even without that hero blade.
Yeah, so he's lost almost half, a third of his hit points already, just tinkling away. What do they call that? Chip damage. That's what some guys call that. Oh, and there's the hero. Oh yeah, look at that.
This is a different replay though, because in the real one, the heroine dies.
Oh, you know why? Because I started with 5.51. I should actually shut... I'm going to do that. I'm going to shut Dominions down. And I've got 547 available somewhere. No, 549. So I can run this in 549. Hopefully that pops up. There we go. Let's check that replay again. That was 13. Now I think this was actually played in 547 patch, which I didn't keep around, but 549 should be closer because it was a smaller patch compared to the 5.5. So let's see if that makes a difference in the replay. Do you think the heroine died? I'm not totally sure that... Oh, good point on Rovsi. Going up against Man's Crossbow's air shield would have been very worthwhile. I don't usually put a lot of time into putting up air shield on a big guy, but against crossbows, yeah. I gotta adjust the volume here a little bit. The sound effects are a little too loud. Yeah, good point, Rovsi. You know, chip damage, if you don't have regen, is a pretty big deal. And
hey, can you recast to Discord?
Can I jump over to Discord?
Oh no, your Discord thing, I can't see it anymore.
Oh yeah, totally. Sorry about that. That's because I changed the patch. There you go.
Okay, come on.
You're good? Yeah, just for folks listening or watching on the stream, I'm kind of double streaming. I'm streaming to Lucid through Discord, plus streaming with my streaming software here. So he's seeing the same thing, but see, yeah. Oh, now see, in this replay, the hero's not right on the edge there. Oh, here she comes. Oh, look at that. You were right. Okay.
Smacked you right in the face.
Yeah, glad you made that point that I had the wrong patch running. So that...
But she's still got a big old hit off on him.
Where are we? Viki. Tower guard. How much did she hit him for? So he hit her for 33. She hit him 0. Alicorn.
You can see it at the top of that.
Right there. Hero Blade, 16. Yeah. Interesting. So that had a lot to do. Yeah, so he's down to 24 points.
And that popped his mist form.
And there you go. And it popped his mist form. Yeah. Good place to have wardens. I'm not a huge fan of wardens.
Blessed? I forget.
He didn't bring a priest.
Oh.
So none of them are blessed.
Oh, okay.
The heroine isn't a priest. Yeah, so he didn't bless anything. So I don't know how long it was till we actually found out their bless. That's the other reason that 7th might have wanted to do this bump, is to check blesses.
You know, if he did that bump though, he should have done, because he had air. He should have done air shield.
I know, that's what Rossi was saying in the text chat.
Oh, okay.
You probably can't see the text chat. Well,
oh no, I can see it. I can see it.
Yeah.
I wasn't paying attention. Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I think.
Okay.
Okay. Now, anything else? You've got an expansion here. Oh, gee, your wolves died.
That's their job, man. Look, killed 5 heavy cav with 20 wolves.
Yeah, exactly. Perfect.
Mission accomplished.
Mm-hmm. How many wolf herders did you choose to buy in this game? They're 1 commander point, right? So you could buy 2 a turn.
Yeah, I can't remember. I think.
But they suck.
I think you normally. I kind of want like at least 10.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like with 10 you can start getting enough chaff to screen for heavy cav, and you can start getting your first blood hunting province set up.
Yeah. I mean, you're using cap turns, and you were also using cap turns for your Hawkmeisters.
Yeah.
So, now has any of us got forts? Oh, that must have been a lucky fort. Because I don't think you would have.
John is kind of weird, because their cap is not like their best stuff. It's like their special stuff.
Yeah.
But it's not best.
Yeah, you got like, the Ghoul
your
Guardians.
Best mages are the members of the 2nd tier. They were
yes.
Here, the Black Priests. Your best troop is probably your Zweihander or your Rangers, and they were good anywhere. Instead, you get like the specialty undead dude and the horses. You know.
Maybe you did build that fort. You just accepted the loss of resources, and got it going early, so you didn't have to wait.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not a huge fan of Ghoul Guardians. They're very good for specific things.
Mm-hmm.
I think I was more concerned about getting a fort up quickly, and I was probably like a little pissed that I didn't have a better place to put it for my first one. But I think I had the gold, and I was like, "Whoop, we're doing it."
So Zans is talking about Grippa. I don't remember if Grippa was man. Was Grippa man? I don't think he was. Sack, I remember, was Pan. Oh, Grippa was man? Okay, well, there you go.
What was he mad about?
He's just teasing Grippa that he should have sent a priest.
Oh, yeah.
Like, even for a little bit of bless.
I got you.
Were you in the game, Zans? I got 2 Zans. Same person, Zans 8 and Zans 1. You were Arithia. Oh, okay. Right. Yeah, I've kind of forgotten who all was in the game. Balin was in it. Balin was Gath, I believe.
Yeah.
I don't remember who was Micklin.
He's pretty big. Dude, I don't know if I even noticed. Look at it.
Mm-hmm.
Gath is big.
But see, they got fighting really early. There was a big war going on over here. We didn't find out about it till quite a while. I believe it was Jolman and Vetti. And who was their third? Do you remember?
I don't remember.
No, me either.
Oh,
we could probably tell if we look here under pretenders. You can usually tell by the name. Vetti, left hand of Frosty. No, it's not helping me much.
Messenger of Lord of Goats.
Yeah.
Funny.
Well, that was we were going off that, in our naming, we were going off that Men Who Stare at Goats movie.
Yeah. Lord of Goats.
Yeah. Well, and then I was Billy Ocean, just a 1980s reference. Music that I grew up to. Who was Bogarus? Oh, he was the other teammate. Okay, thanks, Rob. Yeah, so it's Bogarus. Yeah, and Bogarus is the one that got killed, right? Anyways, we'll get to that. So I think we've kind of covered the basics. We must have made this agreement to purchase this, because you can see I'm moving to that farm in 217 already.
Yeah.
And I think it was just because, it's only 2 from my capital, and it was a reasonable border. And it's a nice province.
No, he has no right expecting to hold that.
But we had to pay him. I think we paid him quite a bit. I remember, just looking at my treasury. Well, no, yeah.
Did you send it this turn?
Send the money?
Yeah.
Maybe. Nope.
Okay.
I didn't. But it might have been one of you guys sending. Because I remember that I was kind of chronically short of money in this game.
Yeah. You got a good event at some point.
I got the
I
Lore
remember
Masters.
You sent me some money at some point.
Yeah, I got some really good events. But I also, one of these two ended up with Sages and Lore Masters. I found.
That'll do it.
Yeah, and so I ended up fording up beside my capital anyways. You see here,
Yeah.
I'm just going to position myself. See, here comes Patala finally. Light Bandars and Nagas, so. Still don't know any blesses. We already looked at that. So let's move on to 14.
Yep.
Okay. Good to go. Well, I'm glad we changed the patch, because that makes the replays a lot better. And, yeah, so... Boy, he put a lot of PD up for a province that he was going to sell. He might not have thought about it, but...
Yeah, but he probably did it earlier when he first took it, because he took it pretty early.
Yeah, he did. The Ghost King, yeah. Easy peasy. What have you got here? So you got a little bit of attrition on your Black Templars. You know, you've lost a few over time, but...
Which is a little surprising because my blesses come online now.
Yeah.
You typically lose them before you get that invulnerability, but once you have invulnerability, they do
yeah.
good against PD. I must not have gotten them blessed or something.
Maybe you didn't get all of them blessed. Looks like the blessings kind of skipping a few.
Yeah. I'm holding the tick, so they should get
but look, you had one who was diseased. So he started the fight with only 4 hit points. Well, I think you ran over a disease site. Didn't you end up with the
disease sites over there?
Yeah, it's looking...
There's a lot of heavy cav with lance charges.
Yeah. And... Well, this guy's lost an eye.
I think we already lost whoever died.
Yeah, it was probably that disease guy.
Yeah.
Oh, that's your priest. Okay. It's this guy.
Yeah, but the own heavy cav is so good. You really can... There's not a ton of cav where you want to really march it into a heavy cav province.
Mm-hmm.
Own heavy cav can just do lance-to-lance charges against other heavy cav. And you'll take a loss, but
yeah,
they do just crush them.
Well, and if, the protection value with the invulnerability doesn't look quite right until you come here and you see that it's actually 27.
Yeah.
That's pretty massive.
Yeah.
Oh, you got a guy bleeding there.
Doing?
Yeah, this guy here is bleeding. Oh, he's going to die.
Probably dead then.
Yeah. Oh, no. He didn't quite die. I don't know. Hard to say. You only lost 1, so...
Yeah, how many heavy cav was in that total if we go out?
14.
14 heavy cav losing 1? I'm okay with that.
Mm-hmm, absolutely. How many could you make? Do you remember?
I don't.
Yeah.
I think it's... We didn't have super high dominion. What was it, 6?
No, 6. So 6. That would have been your max per turn. Still, 6 a turn, that adds up.
Yeah.
And then over here... Hey, thanks for the follow. Over here, same thing. So you just small little losses. And that's the one we looked at. Did that card do much? Yeah, see, it's now infill time. Looks like we've pretty much defined our borders. You'll get that one because I don't know who's going to get that one. It's kind of hard to get to.
One of those provinces is the province all those trolls attack me later.
That's right. Oh, and you had the trolls. How long did that stupid troll event go? 12 or 15 turns or something?
It was the worst.
Yeah, that was an annoying event. Right up there with claiming the Throne of Beasts. Lucid is here in this game. Like with me right now. I'm streaming.
Yeah, and this isn't going up on my channel. I'm just hanging out with Maerlande.
Yeah, he's my guest this time. Maybe I'll be his guest again sometime down the road. Only what he says. And
I was gonna put this game up But because I subbed out on turn 25, it just didn't make sense. So
Yeah, that's the other thing. Araloo is Lucid's only going to guest for a. He is a little quiet. I'm sorry about that. I don't think there's much more I can do on the
move
mixer.
the mic a little closer.
Oh, that's a little better.
Okay, here we go.
Oh, that's quite a bit better. Yeah, I didn't set this up with 2 voice channels, so you're just coming through on my voice.
Yeah. Okay.
So I can't mix you and me.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, unless I've got Discord turned low. No.
Okay.
No, that shouldn't be it either. So, all right.
I want to hear you talk about your research a little bit, Maerlande. What do you
Absolutely. Good call. So, just because it's really cheap, I think I got Construction 1 as my freebie, so I didn't have to do it. But I'm grabbing 2, just so if I need it, I can upgrade the King's gear just a touch. And then we had discussed, and we did do it, we had a plan to use all 3 types of research boosters and mask them, and then move them from player to player.
Right.
So,
and I'm trying to remember, I got all of them for the beginning.
You did, because you were rushing something.
I think I was rushing Construction 6.
Yes, I think you were. Yeah, that sounds right. And then we had a plan, we were going to rush Maelstrom, which we did. So that was me, so I was going to rush Maelstrom once I got. But the clincher here, I know, is I'm trying to grab Voice of Tiamat.
Right.
That's what I'm shooting for right now. I'm not really going for large elementals.
How did you like it this game? Did you find some good stuff with it?
With Tiamat?
Yeah.
On average, my experience is you find 2 gems for every 8 you spend. So the payoff is 4 turns.
It sucks. I mean, late age you have less gems.
You do, but I think we might be able to see it. Game settings. We put the magic up a little bit because I think 40 is default, isn't it? Is that the default?
Yeah, it's 60 for EA, 50 for MA, and 40 for LA.
And I know a lot of people like to boost it to 55 or 60 for late age games.
Yeah.
We didn't, but so yeah, you're right. That sort of rule of thumb of 2 gems per Tiamat cast isn't perfect, but
I'm just scarred because I my late age relay game I was in, I cast it in my whole ocean system, which casting it on like 10 provinces is expensive.
It is.
It's majorly expensive. I think I found like 2 or 3 gems total.
Oh yeah. Well, we'll see it as we get going, but I get really good gem income.
That's good. And
especially, we got a lot of cross-path gems, so we were able to make a ton of rune smashers. Well, plenty anyways. And I can't remember, I think the way we did it is somebody empowered in fire. Might have been me. I think it was me.
We have that could cast it, because I'm thinking of all our pretenders.
We didn't, but we just I think it was me. I empowered an Angakok.
Yeah.
And then I think somebody was able to make a Skull of Fire.
Right.
Somehow or other. It might have been I empowered the Ghost King.
That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, just so I could make a Skull of Fire. Well, and see, you can go look it up, the site frequency, the magic site frequencies. My kind of personal experience is water has a lot of holy sites, so it's great for getting those ancient temples in a pearl.
Yeah.
It has a good nature, good depth, and water provinces seem to have more fire and air than they have water. They generally do. Like, there's a lot of volcanoes, and then there's that, I think there's a water site that gives 1 air, 1 fire. So I usually find when I'm using Tiamat that I end up with not a heck of a lot of water gems. I find more water gems on land, particularly coasts. But I find a lot of air and fire gems in the water, and a moderate amount of earth.
Okay.
But it's very worthwhile to search water for holy, death, and nature.
Yeah. Okay, that makes sense.
Oh, good question. At this point, we're sitting here in turn 14. Diplomacy was working well, and
Are you sending your Ghost King into to lizards?
Mhm.
You're gonna get him cursed.
I think I did. I believe I spent this whole game with the.
They're like, dude.
Yeah, I believe I spent this whole game with a cursed Ghost King. But then, the Ghost King didn't end up being a thug or an SC for most of this game. I spent a lot of this game having him gateway troops and running around claiming because he was really, really fast. So I remember that he spent this game zipping back and forth, teleporting and building labs and gatewaying, and so he didn't fight much.
Yeah. I think if we got boxed in and we were real small at the beginning and we needed like an early war, I think we would have been using our disciple gods a lot more.
Absolutely. But because diplomacy, and then, see, a bunch of the other teams started fighting quite early and we were left alone for much of this game.
Yeah.
That answer your question, sir, Negative Assurance? At this point, strategically, we are able to focus pretty much on nothing but infrastructure, forts, research boosters, forging, and then just filling in. See, for me, I desperately wanted to get at least 3 water forts so that I could start making fathers, and a lot of fathers.
Yeah.
Because they're just. Oh, that's the other thing. No. We didn't have to empower to make rune smashers. I got plenty of fire water fathers.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, all we needed was a water bracelet or skull of fire, one of the two.
That's right.
We might have empowered in fire just to make skulls of fire. We'll get to that. Well, I think that's it for 14. Unless you got anything there, Lucid.
No, I think that's good.
You need F2, water 2 for rune smashers, yeah. But if I remember correctly, fathers have a chance of F2. But I think that's why we did have to figure out some way to make a skull of fire. Fathers max out at F1, is that correct? I don't know if I've got Mod Inspector working here.
But empowering from F1 to F2 is also not a big deal.
No,
it's like
that's actually
the
significantly cheaper, yeah.
Like the flame helmet, you'd be like, oh, I built a fire booster. We put it on the guy. It's like cheaper to fire and power.
Yeah. Well, let me see if I can just bring up Forgiving Fathers here for a second. I just need to drag the Mod Inspector. There it is. Drag that onto the stream. And where's my fathers? There they are. Oh, yeah. No, Rob's right. You can only get F1. But you automatically have water 2, so. So 1 and 4 fathers have a chance of making rune smashers and doing acid spells and fun like that. They're a good mage. Oh, that's right. I forget about that thing in the Pretender screen. That you can look at the national overview.
Yeah, I do that. I click that all.
I totally forget about that. Yeah, there we are. There's fathers. Thanks. And I don't remember if I used any acid in this game. It just didn't really come up. But due to the way it worked out, because my troops are so slow, you guys had to do most of what fighting we did. And that was part of why I ended up gatewaying, so I could get something.
It depends where the wars are. Like, you were really well set up to fight a war with Tala and to fight a war with Marignon.
Yeah.
With all that coastal sailing and stuff.
Yeah.
And the aquatic. But, I mean, for you to get, like, to fight anything on our side, like where our big frontier is over there with Man and Calum.
Absolutely.
Forget about it.
But what I did do, I think it was this pond. You guys relinquished that to me. And then I also built a fort right about here. I think right on Bakar here on the throne, so that I was in range for remotes.
That makes sense.
And I gatewayed. You might have already have left the game by then, but I
Yeah.
ended up fording there on 225 and in this pond, and then gatewaying mobs over
Yeah.
for the later
It
wars.
would have been fun to play really aggressive and have you push through to that other ocean system, but I don't think that was ever really in our cards. But it would have been a cool thing.
Well, a
Like if
big.
you gateway to that throne that you talked about, you forded, and then you made some dire push into the ocean.
Oh, here, actually, we did. We did try, and really, Ape and Caleb kind of said, go home. And we fought them for a while, and then it kind of came to a standoff, and we negotiated sort of a neutral peace. Something along those lines.
Let's not do too many spoilers. Sorry.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah. It's kind of tough when you're sitting there, okay, what do I remember and what do I not? Because I waited a long time, but you probably remember the story. In the spring, my laptop fried.
Right.
And I was able to salvage the hard drive with a lot of my information, but I was not able to salvage the solid state. And so I lost some stuff.
I think right now, I'm gearing up, getting ready to take that throne. I'm getting close to it. I'm making the gear. I'm getting ready to go because I think I need one of my vampire thugs.
This one, this throne?
No, the one to the right. I think that's our next focus.
Oh, this one.
Set our borders. We're
Bakar. Yeah.
And we're like, let's get the thrones.
Right.
And we're coordinating amongst the three of us who's going to get which throne.
Yeah. Well, I was negotiating. I think this Zabalba's in here somewhere, and Patala, and eventually I did take this throne.
Right.
But it was a pretty easy one to take, with just Long Dead.
Right. I think the one with the snakes is mine. I think the one between Utgard and I is Utgard's.
Well, he took some of them with just his bog mummy.
Yeah.
I think this one he just bog mummied it.
Yeah.
And I think he just kind of timered it out.
Yeah.
Because he did a bunch of offline testing with his bog mummy to see how he could take thrones cheap.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you can see I'm starting to finally push scouts out. I grabbed water, I grabbed another water. Oh, this fight. And did I get cursed? I sure as heck did.
Yeah.
You should have told me that. I don't remember if you told me not to do that.
I can't see your arrows.
Ah, well. I tend to just sort of accept that you're going to get thugs and SCs cursed.
Yeah,
but it's a worthwhile thing to avoid. I don't know why I didn't give better thought to that.
Is he stealthy too? I can't remember if Ghost.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, totally. Yeah, they got good stealth.
That's such a good chassis.
40. No, I guess it's not that amazing, but there's lots of ways to boost it. And they float. I haven't yet figured out. I haven't seen people using the salt yet.
Yeah.
In any game so far.
Reminds me, I think the best thing about Disciples games is that you get to just make a badass pretender god.
Yeah.
You know, you don't have to worry about your scales.
No.
It's like, this is what you got.
Yeah.
You know, do the coolest shit you can with it.
Yeah, I'm in my tourney game, tourney 13. Ubar is my ally, but he's basically dying now, and there wasn't anything I could do about it. And nobody seems to have gotten around to bringing salt out against him. They're just beating him up with white centaurs.
I mean, if you have magic weapons and spirit sight, you honestly don't really need it.
Yeah, and I think, if I remember correctly, in that game that, well, it's Therados and Pan are killing Ubar. And so what's he doing here? Pretty basic. I don't think, it doesn't look like I changed the script at all. His fatigue's a little worse. But pretty straightforward. Yeah, well, just... And there he goes. Patunk, patunk, patunk.
Does he get damaged? That is the real question.
Yeah. So far, no. Oh, I got to turn verbose back on. Yeah, they ran away. I don't...
Dude, this Ghost King is strong.
Yeah.
He's strong.
Yeah, the curse got on him there pretty early.
it kind of, you know, Marilyn, watching this, it kind of makes me wish that diplomacy didn't go so well,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
that people were like, "Oh, let's rush Utgard," and because we were ready, man.
Well, not only
Because if
that,
people rushed us, we would have messed them up.
we thought we'd be rushed because we
Yeah,
had the most experienced team by a
right,
huge amount.
right.
And we were, I remember discussing, okay, we're going to get rushed. Let's get ready. And it didn't happen. They just left us alone.
Yeah, I mean,
I think there was some saltiness developed between some of the teams as well.
yeah.
It's always a chance of a little
We
bit of
also
that.
didn't really push. I mean, aside from that thing with Vettiheim, where we were really confident, we didn't really. We were very cordial about our borders.
I was for sure because
Yeah,
I didn't feel with all of this nice land here to take to infill. I didn't feel I needed to be aggressive.
right. So that's probably one of the reasons Diplo was kind of chill for us. But
Yeah, I think so. Now, have I started forts yet? Looks like I. Oh yeah. I brought out the queen here just to lead. That was a nice hero to get. Not
yeah,
game winning, but very handy. Well, the big one is it gave me a claimer, another claimer. And see, because Angercocks are only holy 2, so it's always nice in a Disciples game to get extra claimers.
yeah,
Because we didn't have a single, none of us have holy 3s available.
right.
So then it's Disciples or. Anyways, we could talk about the fun and games of claiming later, because. Oh, anything we want to talk about? Let's just. Any interesting events? What about. Okay, lucky events. Yeah. So, luck isn't. Oh, look at that. 3 magic sites.
Ooh,
Yeah, that was
really?
tasty.
4 magic sites? What?
Yeah, look at that. 5 water.
Oh,
Yeah, forgot about that. And see, I think I've labbed already. The
like another
Angercocks
capital.
here.
I mean, it's better than a capital anyway.
Yeah, no, it is. Well, and it's also useful gems for me.
Yeah,
Hmm. Oh, I sent out a lot of magi doing things. That's why my research is kind of crap right now.
yeah.
Because I've got.
Well, you were site searching our lands too. I think. Like you were.
Eventually, I
Maybe
did.
not yet, but I think maybe also maybe now. Yeah.
Yeah, I had Angercocks pretty quick here. I started sending Angercocks out to start searching all over the place. Now, so far I haven't got anything really wonderful for randoms. Pretty basic. But coming up here, I did luck out with some really great randoms on the Angercocks.
Yeah.
And you guys, yeah, see, you're just filling in. So I'm not sure what the border agreements were, but looks like you're totally going to get that one. You still got 1, 2, yeah, there's still a lot of fill-in left. Hutguard's coming here to get these shades and fiends. That probably, we'll see it probably pretty soon. That's probably an annoying province to try to fight. Just that the fiends have a decent chance of killing off your priests.
Yep. Yeah, it seems pretty annoying to fight, and they've got the shades are armor negating attacks and stuff,
Right.
so you don't really want to send your god.
No. But isn't it funny that with the various changes to blood magic, Feeds of Darkness are one of the very best summons now, whereas it used to be Demon Knights and Storm Demons.
You just get a lot of them.
You do.
You get
do.
a way more number of Fiends of Darkness per buck.
Yeah, and they're a lot cheaper on which magi can get them, because you don't have to have expensive or tricky crosspass. Just good old blood 2 and you pump out fiends.
My thinking on like generic blood summons is I'm not sure about the cold ones, but all of them are good. Now
Mhm.
I feel like there's not. I mean, maybe not like the really low tier stuff like Spine Devils and Bone Fiends. I mean, even those Bone Fiends are
Well,
kind of okay too. But
They're really
But
cheap chaff if you can buff them.
yeah,
Bone fiends. The one I don't see much are Demon Knights, because they got both the price increase and a nerf to fear. So I don't see them much anymore.
What the other thing too is there's not many nations. I mean, I guess Zabal, but there's not many nations that really want to summon them in the late game.
Demon
like,
Knights?
By the time you get Blood 9, when you can get them, because the Blood, like if you're going to get them one at a time, it's brutal. It's like, what is it, 15 gems for one or something?
Well, and it's a difficult cross path too, right?
Right.
Where are we here?
Then,
Demon Knights, Blood 2, Earth 2. That's not the easiest.
15, I remembered it.
Yeah, and they're 15 now. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's for one.
Yeah.
And you have to say, like, what are the nations that have access to Earth Blood?
Right. And they don't fly.
And I think the only one I can think of is Zabalba. Who else has Earth Blood? Hinnom.
Mm-hmm. Well,
I'm going to search real quick. We're going to answer
well,
this.
And I have used them when I've played Blood Monkeys, simply because empowering a Yaksha or something in Blood is cheap.
Baratos, kind of.
But definitely, if you just look at Fiends, you're getting 3 Fiends for every Demon Knight. The other problem I have with Demon Knights is because they don't fly, but it's really easy to get flying undead commanders by using Horde from Hell.
Yeah.
I vastly prefer anything that flies.
I think the only nation, because Zabalba has better national summons, right?
Exactly.
So like the nation that has the Earthblood cross path would never get this, like Zabalba.
No.
The only nation I think these guys are a play for is Pangea.
Yeah.
If they get Earthblood, they might have to do a booster or two, but that could make sense.
With what are they called? The Dark Pans.
No, actually,
Pandemoniacs.
The early age pans, the Pandemonics that you get.
That's what I meant. Yeah.
Maybe they do get an Earth Path. I can't remember.
I don't remember.
I thought they were no randoms. Let me see. Let me turn off D. I've got D on my Mod Inspector.
Oh, do you? Okay. Well, the other option, I could bring Mod Inspector over here. Quick. And you're saying Middle Age Pan you were wanting to look at?
Yeah, well...
Where is it? The screen's dinky.
Early Age Pan is the one that this might be a thing for.
Oh, okay. Early.
Because Early Age Pan, they get Earth 1, Nature 4, Blood 1 with an Earth Blood random.
Oh, they get blood on all their pans.
Right. So you just get one of the blood... You get one of the Blood 2 randoms, and you throw Earth Boots on him, and boom, he can do it every turn.
Absolutely. Yeah, that makes sense. And Pan basically is a walking nation. So mixing these in with squads of centaurs or something. Yeah, I can see that. I can definitely see that Early Age Pan might go for Demon Knights.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll move the Inspector back out of the way.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, Zan's is saying that Middle Age Zib might want to go Demon Knights because they don't have Aussies.
Yeah, that's possible.
Yeah, I could see that. I'm playing in a Disciples game, another one with my teammate is Late Age Zib. And he's totally going Ocelotls and Bats. Mostly Ocelotls, but then we have a pretty good Bless in that game too, so that makes a difference. See, in this game, with a cheapo Bless, the generic blood summons are pretty viable. Although, I know you get you get what? There's a total of 8 of your unique vampires, right? Right. And then you had some of them get killed, but you can bring them back.
Right. Or they're immortal too, so.
Right. Oh yeah, of course.
And then if they die permanently with Soul Slate, you can call them back with.
Yeah, and I think you did get a few Soul Slate, if I remember right. Anyways, that's spoilers, I guess. Oh, nice job down here. So you've defined a border with Zib. And, okay. And let's see. Utgard is just doing infill. So I think we can move on to the next turn.
Mm-hmm.
I was sort of planning 2 hours, or Does that work for you, or do you want to be a little shorter? Well, we're at an hour and 10 already.
Yeah, we can probably do 2.
I don't really want to go longer because then the editing just becomes a little overwhelming. I used to limit myself to 1 hour per, but I might just split this. If I can find a good spot at roughly the hour break, I'll split it into 2 videos to make editing a little easier.
Okay.
It's like I was telling you yesterday, I've gotten a little carried away with fancy edits. Yeah. And I'm itching to do something. I was telling some other guys, I want to record something where I'm throwing gifts from heaven, and I want to get little green men riding the meteors down. Yeah, just the Martian invasion, War of the Worlds comes to Dominions.
Or like you're playing the squids or something, you have meteors crashing into the ocean with like little squids riding them.
Yeah, that would be funny. Yeah, because I know how to do that. It's pretty easy to add a little tiny sprite and then just a little animation. You just draw like a path on the video. So it's not super easy, but okay. So I'm going to move on to turn 16. We're cruising at a good pace, and I'm glad because I think I'm quite happy if I can do this whole series in maybe 5 to 10 episodes. This might be a place to split. I'll just make a paper note that I'm thinking of splitting at 1 hour 10 minutes, and when I get back to in the editor. So now I'm trying to see if luck is starting to pay off. I got something for you, and I'm not sure. Do you think these tax increases last only 1 turn?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, me too. But some of them, when it's an actual income increase, I think those last.
The income is permanent.
Yeah. So it's a better event, really. And seeing up to you here, what's it worth?
I'm trying to remember, because if you start doing like Firebird shenanigans,
yeah,
you end up getting like multiple tax things in the same turn, and you can get those end up being really significant when you start getting a lot of them on your capital.
Have you seen anybody play that meme, the Firebird meme, lately?
I did it in like a draft game where we got to draft our own stuff.
Oh,
like
okay.
One of the All-Stars things. I didn't actually love it, to be honest.
Yeah.
What I found is that if you're a nation that can reliably get these guys out, like you have mages that can summon them.
Yeah.
You kind of want lanterns, right? You're also a nation that can do lanterns.
Right.
And you give up all of your lantern production for the Firebirds. So the Firebirds are going to be better in the late game than lanterns, but it's going to really hurt your power curve in the mid game. And I just didn't feel like it was necessarily good.
Yeah. And that's a really good... I mean, the whole thing about using gems efficiently is something a lot of players don't think give enough consideration to. I've been talking lately that with death gems, I kind of have a tier system for what you use them for, and I put skull staves, skull mentors. Those are top.
Yeah.
Because the thing about skull staves is, if you've got a hammer for 8 gems, that greatly increases the power of any death mage.
Yeah.
Battle mage, rather than the thug. And skull mentors are expensive, but depending on the situation.
Yeah.
And then battle magic.
Skull mentors are like totally situational.
Yeah. Now, did we use your mods? I think we did, didn't we? Yeah, so we've got your thematic gem gens. Oh, that's right, yeah. So that changes the 1 calculation, which is burning a ton of death gems on battle magic. Darkness and life after death and all that stuff. Because that can really start burning a lot of death gems. So I like to always maintain a solid...
like Atlantis, you're going to be having death spells every single combat.
Exactly. Yeah, easily 8 gems a fight. Maybe even 12.
Hey, I got to run for like 2 minutes. I'll be back, so you can keep
going.
Yeah,
no problem. I'll just keep answering questions. Mibkey. Pan might not go blood. Yeah, and I think that's just we were just kind of diverting off into the discussion of, why aren't we seeing Demon Knights anymore? You used to see them all the time in Dominions 3 and 4, and I just don't see them very often now. Some of that's changes to the real-time combat, and then the pricing changes, and certain nerfs to how many slaves you get. So just to back up a bit, so this is turn 16, and I've got a fort going here. I've got the lab up, I got the temple up. I'm still waiting for Conjuration 5, and my research is still kind of craptastic. I haven't got any land forts going up yet. She did fine, lost a couple of ice guards. Pretty straightforward. Gonna get the other lizards. I do remember one of our focuses here was we were wanting to get lizard shaman, and a good option. I think I didn't end up getting as many as I expected, simply because we really did find ourselves pretty short of gold, like all of us. And we kind of forted up a little bit crazy. Sometimes I think we may have built a few too many forts. Because see, what are we looking at? Right now, Lucid's got 2. I think he's building some more somewhere, but not sure. Oh, that's nice. Got some good sites there. What else have I found for sites? Turtles. Nah, no, that's not something Atlantis is going to care about. That's capital. No, I haven't got many sites yet. Black Coral Reef. And somewhere here, I know somebody got one of those disease sites. Oh, here comes those stupid trolls. Lucid was saying this event was seriously irritating, because he just had trolls coming up all the bloody time. And that was just a probe. So he was fighting trolls for, I don't know, I think it was 15 turns or something till that event chain ran out. Any of you guys in the chat had experience with that event chain? I don't know if I can find it on the mod inspector. Should be able to. Let's just try troll. Oh, I gotta load them. Alright. Let's see what we get. Dum ba dum bum 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 bum. Ba dum ba dum bum. That's kind of slow. Alright, let's see. Troll. Oh, good grief. There's a lot of them. I don't. Yeah, I think these are all part of the same chain. Troll King has been defeated. Triggering events. Pushing for...
Alright, I'm back.
So, turns out this is the turn the trolls show up.
Yeah.
So
yeah, they killed like a bunch of heavy cav too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The first turn, your
no.
PD. Yeah, but look at that, 23 of them. 23.
Like, a bunch of heavy cav are gonna kill them. Nope.
Yeah. No, you had to, and this is, I'm sure this is a chain. I was just open Inspector to try to find the first event of the chain, but Troll Dung has been found. I don't know what the first event was. It must be this. No, that one's not enough. That one's only a die 6 war trolls, because you got, what the heck here? You got 18 war trolls and 23 regular trolls. Ugh. It's one of these events. 60, that's forest trolls. Yeah. Well, I'm not going to spend a ton of time trying to sort out what event that was. It's just kind of interesting. But you there, Lucid, or did you have to?
I'm here.
Oh, there you are.
What were you asking?
No, nothing. I was just talking about the trolls. I had pulled the mod inspector over. You wouldn't have seen it, but just to try to find that event. But there's a lot of different events related to the trolls, and I don't think I want to spend a lot of this.
It's mostly a really friggin' bad event.
Yeah.
I think there's a silver lining you can get somehow at the end, but it's a silver lining to a really bad event.
Let's face it, the rewards for almost all of the events are so tiny that I tend to just sort of tune them out. Deal with them as you can, but
yeah.
I mean, there's that one that I played with one time. You find a way to get water elementals, and I think you can get a max of 3 permanent water elementals. I mean, big whoopee.
Yeah.
you're better off just to make yourself a couple of bottles of water.
Yeah.
Then send a water mage to sit there and interact with that site for 4 or 5 turns.
Well, actually, I don't know about that one. I think that one you can get +1 to water, which is a pretty nice benefit.
Oh, can you? Oh, okay.
Yeah, and you
Well,
can
that
get
is-
like a big
that is-
water elemental every turn.
But the last time I did it, it ran out after only 3. It quit working. That's what I remember, but
Yeah, it's not like super awesome. I think it's
Yeah.
okay.
see, yeah, so I must have been fixated on I gotta kill lizards with the Ghost King. I definitely seem to be a little bit fixated there. Yeah, see, here we go. I'm bringing a Tungulik over to Lab and Temple here, so we can start making lizards. Shaman.
Yep.
You probed that. No, Odgard probed that. Conjurers and sorcerers. That's true. I got him cursed already. It's just I was just laughing because I don't know if you were earlier in the stream and Lucid was kind of teasing me for why am I sending my Ghost King at lizards when I don't really need to.
Yeah, I mean, he might as well site search there. I think you're. Or
Yeah.
you send him Polo, I guess. But I don't need to send both.
No. He probably could have site searched. It's always possible that the orders I've got saved here are not the final orders I did. I think almost always they were, and I'm pretty careful about how I manage my folders. Somebody was saying they were going to try to figure out some automation, a bit of a Python script or something for managing the folders. But I realized, yeah, but I only spend 3-5 minutes a day on making my folders right. So the only hard part is just being meticulous that every time you submit a turn, you move the fresh orders.
Yep.
And that's all that's required. No. And with an automation script, I think your potential for error is just as high.
Yeah.
Okay. So where are we at? The research is still chugging away. Yeah, my research points are pretty terrible for, turn 16. But like you said, I've got Angakocks all over the place.
Yeah, you're site searching, which means you got, some mage production behind it.
Yeah,
and I'm coming up on that beautiful farmland too.
Yeah, exactly. So, I'm behind you guys on fort production because Utgard's already got 3. He's upgraded once already. You've got 2. But I also am building water forts, so how much longer have I got for this one? 1 month. So then I could start pumping out fathers.
Yeah.
And I don't know when you started making research boosters. It should be pretty darn quick.
Yeah. I think we're doing quills. I think I was having y'all send me any air you had. I was doing quills already.
Oh yeah, well I'm out of air, so probably I was. Oh, and I'm not earning any.
And I think I was doing skull mentors too. I made a lot of skull mentors.
You did. And I distinctly remember we moved them from player to player as we each had our critical targets.
Right. Which is a little inefficient because you waste a turn. The skull mentors aren't doing any research when you send them. But
yeah.
If there's a major shift you need to do, it's a good thing to do.
Absolutely. And definitely, I can't remember the quote, but isn't it the best laid plans fail upon contact with the enemy?
Yeah.
We were good about being flexible in this game, in that, we adapted as required as the situation changed.
Right.
A lot of that didn't occur until you had to leave, because we still had really no major action until sort of mid-game.
Yeah. Everything while I was there was just us doing,
Yeah, building stuff.
Yeah.
Infrastructure, yeah.
Except those damn trolls.
Yeah. And then you ended up doing things like wads of wolves to attrition them and stuff. We'll see it coming up here. Anything? Oh, there's the bog mummy up and running. I'm curious to see if he's changed up his script by now. So I can't remember. Iron Skin, Mirror Image, Mist Form, Flying Shield? Where did Flying Shield come from?
He is Air Earth.
So did he cast? He did cast Flying Shield. Oh, okay. That's the one that just
Protective Force.
Protective Force. Why is it not showing? You should see the icon here.
Yeah, it's not showing up. I don't know. Maybe he hasn't gotten it off yet.
Oh, he's just preparing? Oh, there it is. That's why. There it is. Okay. Yeah, so that's the 50% chance of blocking everything. Except armor negating. But that includes all elemental stuff too, right?
Yeah, I think so. I think so.
Which makes it better than it first looks.
It's not connected with piped damage.
Yeah. Doesn't kill very well. Kind of surprised he kept going with the enchanted pike. Is he getting much in the way of repel? Repel, repel, repel.
Yeah, it's going to repel a lot of heavy cav.
Yeah, yeah. So
to get through the repel, you need to really surround him. Heavy cav is not enough.
Yeah. Yeah, he's repelling quite a bit. So that's arguably a good reason to stick with the pike. How much fear does the bog mummy have? 9. Okay. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
I'm always torn about mirror image. Seems to me that with any kind of thug, it gets popped so quick. I'm not sure it's worth the fatigue.
I think it's situational, yeah.
Yeah. No question about Mistform. Mistform's superb. But mirror image, I don't know.
I mean, in certain cases, it can be better than Mistform.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like against magic weapons, it still has value, whereas
Mistform
has on
right. Right, good point. So, yeah, that's a great point. Okay, well, they ran away. So, anything else you want to look at here on 16? Well, that went fine. What were you saying there?
Oh, nothing.
Oh, okay. All right. No questions coming from Twitch chat, so I think I'll move on. You can pretty much see that I'm just doing some searching. Oh, that's part of the reason that gold was a bit of a challenge, is because with three commander points, I had to constantly turn on and off the extra Angacock.
Right.
Or even, I think sometimes I ended up filling in with just a commander or something, just due to a shortage of gold. Alright, we'll jump to 17.
They might have changed it. I'm not sure if you actually have to do the fill-in now. Because if you have repeat recruitment clicked, I think it carries over an unused point to your next thing. It's worth testing.
Does it?
Sure. They changed it kind of recently.
Oh, maybe. But then if you don't have the gold sitting, you're not going to get it. So I don't know. I just know that lately, if I've got 3 commander points and I'm trying to buy a 4 commander point mage, I tend to double it up every second turn. But then cancel it if I can't manage it. So just curious. Oh, okay. Now we're starting to see the gems from luck coming in, and that's pretty nice. So you think this one, province income plus 10, is a permanent?
Yeah, I think so.
Plus 10 on 26. Do you think it's already applied, or it'll apply next turn?
Let's go look. Why don't we go look at the previous turn?
I'll just back up.
It should be.
It's an interesting question.
Yeah.
And one I haven't.
I've gotten it a lot when I was playing Popkill, and I would still have 0 income. So I don't know how it works. I think it scales somehow with population or something.
Shit, what province was that?
Wasn't it
Is it a water province?
I thought it was like a swamp or something.
It was 26. There it is.
So it did add 10.
It added 10. So, yeah, that's a pretty significant increase in income for a pretty craptastic little province. Yeah. Right. Let's jump back to. So we've answered that question. I did a I'll be putting it up later today. I did a series, or a 2-hour stream with some guests to try to answer the question of, is the awake researcher rushing body ethereal and luck a viable strategy? Because I find it an awfully expensive strategy. I don't know if I really answered the question, but talking to a bunch of people, some guys that did the math on it, they said you get 3 turns sooner for body ethereal than if you just take magic skills and buy magi. So is 3 turns sooner enough to make a big difference?
I have no idea how you'd answer that.
Well, I just ran the first few turns, and
I mean, I think in general you don't, early game, especially early game, you don't really want to have your mages out of your lab.
No, but there's a bunch of people that are very, very, that promote that strategy all the time, and push it towards new players. This is a great strategy. I don't think it's a great new player strategy because it's hard to do. It's really fiddly, and paying those 150 design points to have a rainbow available early, because the best I could get was 72 research points out of a great sage, which is nice, but I'm skeptical.
I think it depends. You know, like, I mean, if you said, can you imagine a nation, Lucid, where it would be better to have like a scales nation where you'd have certain spells that would come online that you want to have the absolute best timing for, and you're going to take an awake researcher? I could probably think of a couple. I don't know what they are off the top of my head, but...
Well, I did the example I was working through with Maerlande, because 45 gold stargazers, Astral 1, seemed like a perfect opportunity to... And plus you had the possibility of Moss Body as well.
Well, in my mind, you want to do... The only time you would do like a real sacrifice things for a research play is when you have thugs.
Yeah.
Because the thing is, mages supporting troops, you just don't want to do that in general on an offensive in the early game.
Well, the opportunity cost is very, very high to pull your mages out of the lab. One of the arguments is it's a great way to rush somebody, but I'm very skeptical of early rush. I don't see it very often. I don't tend to do it. And it almost assumes that you know the other player's weaker skill-wise.
Yeah. You can rush people, but it depends a lot on different things. And I don't think rushing somebody with body ethereal and luck on like 6 mages and an army.
Well,
I just can't see that being a good strategy.
I'm skeptical. The last time I dealt with a rush was earlier this year. I'm still in the game because I subbed another nation. The guy who rushed me wrecked me, but it took 40 turns to finally kill me, and he got killed too. So he got nothing out of it. I got nothing out of it. All we got was we beat each other senseless until other people got gains.
Yeah, that's kind of what happened in my tournament game.
So that is, I see that more than I ever see successful rush, with the exception of mixed skill games where some really experienced players, see some new player and go, he's going to give up if I just beat him up a bit.
Well, I mean, there's a difference, too, between, like, jousting over a province or two on your border and stopping expansion and sending everything into somebody else's cap.
Well, and that's the strategy a lot talk about with this point buffing awake researcher idea, is do exactly that. Grab your research magi and a handful of cavalry and go park on his capital.
The thing you have to consider when you do that is you have to be able to siege that down. And a lot of times, while you're doing that, other people are going to be expanding and getting bigger, right? So, if you're I think one of the nations that kind of could do it would be a nation like Utgard, right? Because they have game herdings and they siege well. Right? So you need or any of the nations that can siege really well. Like Nazca could maybe do it. Or, I don't know.
Well, and if you want a nation that sieges crazy, Agartha.
Right, like Agartha could be.
Their siege power is obscene. Okay.
A wake researcher for underwater knife fights.
Yeah, I
think
saw
would
that.
be an option.
Yeah, and that's a very particular situation. I know if I'm expecting an underwater knife fight, I usually go with a kraken
Yeah.
because it's pretty much the nastiest monster in the water.
Yeah,
Um,
I love the Kraken.
yeah, particularly for Rillier, if you're expecting to be having to deal with hell blessed sacreds in the water,
The
because
only thing I don't love about Upper Relay is they don't really. I don't think there's much for the Earth Bless for them.
I don't usually bless Rillier at all because all you got is
I mean, they're going to enjoy the finesse, which I assume you take on the Kraken. Arcane finesse.
yeah. I usually go Earth and Astral, sometimes an extra path.
But,
Um,
oh, you get them like almost without. You're saying you go like Earth 1 or something, or Earth 2 on him. Just
yeah,
cheap.
I usually go really cheap at scales. Yeah, just get him his buffs, and try to rush out some Star Children or Slave Magi or something to get the research up, and go to town.
Yeah. Okay.
And maybe forge him a couple of trinkets. Kraken doesn't need much though. He's got fear and recoup and massive hit points and 4 attacks, or is it 8? I don't know. I'd have to look, but it tends to eat
Depends
everything.
how many swords of swiftness you put on him.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. That is an interesting question, though. That might be a case of an awake researcher. It would definitely depend on the nation, and you're swapping out for a monster for the underwater knife fight. So I'd have to really look carefully at the matchup, who I was expecting I was going to have to deal with. My last underwater knife fight was with that I think brutally broken nation that's all made of Jomon water dragons. That's all it has.
Oh yeah.
And I was middle-aged Rillier, and that just was not a happy matchup. I had a miserable time dealing with that. But that's a strange nation.
I haven't played much DE, so I don't know about them.
It's a strange nation. Ryugo Joe or something. And basically they just took only the the squid men, shrimp guys, and the big walking shark troops, and those water dragons.
Yeah.
Okay, so back to our game. You're still doing some fill-in. What'd you have to fight there? Oh, big wad of heavy cavalries again. And then, yeah, you haven't even made any attempt on those trolls yet. Looks like, I'm not sure. Do you remember what you were planning at this point in the game? You've got a fairly large army here.
I think we're going to combine forces on that thing above the throne, and then I'm probably going to march that into the trolls and have them all die. That's my guess.
Yeah. It's now. Not only did you have these trolls, but didn't it spin off chained events that start trolls coming up other places?
I think they're making babies. I don't know. It's
Yeah.
it's the troll apocalypse.
Yeah. Okay. So definitely I'm searching, doing some infrastructure. Oh, I think, now that I remember, I think the reason I moved the Ghost King here onto the swamp is I was trying to get some nature gem income going. And so swamps are a better chance for that. Hard to be totally sure, but I think that was part of my motivation.
Yeah. That makes sense.
Yeah. What the heck am I doing here? Why am I attacking him?
This was a mistake you made.
Yeah.
You misclicked this.
I misclicked.
He just dies.
I know. Yeah, that was dumb. Yeah, well.
Yeah, I mean, it was a straight up misclick, though. I don't
Yeah.
think
No, it was.
This is what you were doing. You probably had him doing something like site searching, and then you came to that province to move the scout, and you accidentally clicked the Anger Cock too.
Actually, I think what I did is I came over here and I clicked the A key to select all, and then moved the two together.
Yeah.
because he was supposed to move somewhere else to go site search.
Yeah.
Okay. Anything else on 17 here? Of interest?
I don't think so.
Okay, let's just move on. Yeah, Cherno, how you doing? Oh, I saw your message about blitzing today, but I had scheduled this already with Lucid, and this is the game that we figured it out. It was 6 teams played on Lucid server, 6 teams of 3, and our team was myself, Lucid, and Seventh Path, and we had Ulm, Atlantis, and Utgard. So seriously, power team. Yeah, it was a real power team. Had a lot of experience. I mean, Seventh Path hasn't been playing a long time, but he plays a lot. Or at least he did. So what am I doing? 18? Yeah, 18. Let's get back to it. We're coming up to the 45-minute point, so 15 minutes or so. No, this was a direct connect on Lucid server, so a full game. It went on. This is a review of an old game. Yeah, this is episode 2. Episode 1 was turns 1 to 11. I didn't get Lucid involved. I just had some other guests. This is episode 2, so we're covering turns 12 to, looks like we might make to turn 20. And we're just kind of doing a strategic overview. We're not spending an awful lot of time on, well, Burial Mound's nice. Wasn't what I was looking for, but
50% increase in your death income.
Yeah, not bad at all. Yeah, so that one province is what? 5 gems, so almost, it's half my total gem income. This one right here. Yeah, that was a good province. And we're still slowly trying to get up the Voice of Tiamat. And there we go. I got an Earth random. He's just hanging out there. Yeah.
And that water province too is going to make casting Voice of Tiamat not very painful.
No. And I don't have a lot of it to cast. What? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Yeah.
So, that's not too bad. And I'm not suffering from water gems.
Right.
Definitely not. All right. Now over here. Oh, okay. Oh, yeah. So giants showed up. Ettins. What the heck?
Yeah.
Where did they come from?
It's my real life luck, man.
Oh man, it's an attack. It's independence. Good grief.
Yeah, we're getting trolled.
You totally are. Yeah, you totally are. That's a pain in the butt. Interestingly, you haven't dealt with these pale ones. They shouldn't be too hard.
They're getting the lance this turn.
Yeah, it looks like it. And then Utgard is still not done anything. Oh geez, what's he got going on here? I don't think I can see. A fertility cult. Huh, okay.
Oh man, you got to get those out.
Yeah, that's probably what he's doing, is patrolling like crazy.
That's good. Good for him.
Scatty the Huntress. That's a hero.
Yeah. Nature water, I think.
Nice. That's just something to random. And yeah, so he makes a lot of Sethkonas. You're a good mage. Really nice mage. I just want to look them up again, just to remind myself.
They're possibly, I don't want to say they're the best. They're top 10 best mages in the game for sure.
Yeah, that's very cost efficient. Oh wow, 3 pass and good cross pass.
Yeah.
I remember later on though, he makes quite a few Nornas.
Yeah, I'm not as sold on Nornas, but
well, you might not have been here, but he put together our Mindhunt battery.
Oh yeah, okay.
Yeah, rather than you or me doing it.
Home?
Yeah, it actually was him, and he used Sithkonas. I think because 1 and 4 is going to start with Astral 3, so you could do quite a bit more penetration.
Okay.
And if I remember right, that's a big reason why he makes a lot of Nornas.
Okay.
So Negative Assurance is asking, does Utgard make anything else other than Sithkona? And I think, that was my answer, that for the the somewhat very specific purpose is having some Nornes, gives him some additional options. They're old,
Right.
but... Well, he did make a lot of Scratty because he did Thug quite heavily. And of course, you're going to make Scratty. And then both of you got pretty good blood economies going. I think yours was larger, but if I remember right, the Outguards was pretty solid as well.
Yeah.
Because one of you guys put together Send Horror batteries, Send Horror artillery.
Yeah, that's an Ulm thing.
Yeah, I think it was you. And that was used to great effect when we did get to go to war. Oh gosh, you got another one here. Oh man. Man, you had the worst luck.
Yeah, I'm telling you, my real life, I don't know. The past 6 months, my real life luck for events in game has been pretty bad.
Yeah, I mean, good grief, that's 3 really ugly. Well, I don't know if the Ettins are quite as bad.
I had possibly the most salt-inducing turn last week or maybe a week before. This is a different game, but somebody had been teleporting their Pretender around, and it was this almost unkillable thing.
Okay. Was it the Bronze Colossus?
No, it was an Emersil.
Oh, okay.
90 HP regen.
Teleporting an Erminsul.
Yeah. And anyway, he finally teleported it to a province without a lab. And I was like, checkmate, you're dead.
Yeah.
And so I move all my stuff into position knowing he can't teleport that turn. And that turn was the only turn he got checkmated. That specific turn, he had an event spawn a lab in that province.
No way.
Yes.
No way.
Yes.
Oh, you just found a scout here. Good grief.
This is so typical of my luck for events.
So look at this.
And meanwhile, I had luck 3 and I had a lab burned down. I was like, fuck.
Look at this. Rillier pushed a scout all the way, and that's a fort scout. He had to build that using a fort turn, and he pushed it all the way to you from somewhere over here.
Yeah, that's a long way.
Well, not only that, what exactly was he trying to do? Just find capitals?
Maybe. I mean, I guess if he's trying to figure out what's in this part of the world,
I suppose.
You go a long way before you find a cap.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was
There's no cap between Relay and me.
Yeah, that's a very brave. The other thing is putting a scout into a province with a whole pile of wolves. It's pretty obvious what you're doing with those wolves.
Yeah, I think I was bloodhunting my cap.
Yeah. Well, and at least if you had all those wolves there, you're probably not going to have them hide inside the fort because they're garbage.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's an odd choice. Rillier did play a heck of a game this game, though. I think their team was our biggest threat later on.
Well, it's an LA Relay as a disciple, which is a very powerful nation.
Exactly.
It's not it's one of the better nations in the game, probably.
Yeah. Actually, I think I was commenting, somebody did up for the tourney, all 16 games. I think it was the most popular choice for banning.
Yeah.
Although that's not the Disciples version, but...
Right, that's the pop kill version.
Mm-hmm. But even so, nobody wanted to play against it, and I passed on my ban choice because, frankly, I'm not really too big on that banning idea. I think, well, if somebody picks something weird, then let them. We'll deal with it.
Yeah.
I suppose it could have been his starting scout. That's a good point. Mabilke just mentioned that maybe that was just his starting scout. It sure is a long way from home, because I'm pretty sure he starts here in 241, right smack in the middle of the pond. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, at least 9 turns he was stomping his way across the map. Yeah, maybe it was made insane. But they don't have the insanity if they're a disciple, except for if you go to the Void Gate, right? Because you don't get the free spawn. You don't get all the insane profits and all that crazy stuff.
Yeah, you're middle-aged Relay.
Yeah.
But Middle Age Relay is a really good nation. Your Middle Age Relay with Void Spectres.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Some interesting developments here we can see. One of you guys is pushing your scouts quite well. So Raga has picked a fight with Man and Gath, and Raga's on the team with Pan and Arithia, right? Somebody here was the Arithia player, Zans, right? So that's you guys. So you were picking, you already went to war. So there's a war going on here. And then
I don't think it was with Pan, though. I think Pan wasn't the... I think the... Well,
Pan's on that team, though, right?
Maerlande and Pan were on the same team. I don't know who was their other...
Oh, Maerlande and Pan. Okay, I'm getting my teams mixed up. So Man was teamed with Gath, right? Raga got cut off from his team. Oh, see, we didn't see that, and I don't remember knowing much about it. But I could see if Raga got cut off, he would have felt he would have had. And you cut him off? Zans? It was you that cut him off? Oh. Okay, well, that's a very aggressive move. Who was your team? Can I see the palisade in the water? Yep, in that pond, yep. Who was your team? You were with Gath and Man. Oh, you're the third of the Gath and Man. And, yeah, okay. Forgot about that. So your capital must have been somewhere right about there. And Raga was... Do you remember? Raga was Sack, wasn't he?
No, Sakane was Pan.
I know he was Pan, but wasn't Raga on his team?
That would be what I would think. I would think it would be Pan...
Oh, Arithia's capital's up here.
But I'm not sure.
Oh, geez, you really did push down there. To push all the way to that little pond. From up here.
That's a good play, though. I like that.
Well, I knew Sakane played Pan. I'm just trying to remember the teams.
Yeah, I wish this was before we had the option to...
It was Pan, Raga, and Mary. Okay, it was Pan, Raga, and Mary. Okay.
Oh, let me pull up... I'm going to pull up our... So I can look at it, Marilyn. I've got in our chat history somewhere all the charts.
You still have a chat history? I screwed up somehow, and... Well, I think I had to close it because Seven Path left, and it killed that chat group. But if you still have that, there's a bunch of information in there, in the pins.
Yeah, let me see if I got it.
Okay.
You keep on going. I'm going to be looking for a minute.
No problem. And it's probably a pretty easy way for you to, if you find something really interesting, you can send the pics to me or something, or a screenshot. I'll figure out a way to put it up. Because I can always swap windows or add another window. Or we could just save it for next episode. Because we are... Yeah, I'm going to cut this off at 2 hours. So we got 7 minutes left. 8 minutes left. Anyone in the Twitch chat got any questions? I think you can... I'm going to take another glance at my research.
I got it. I found it.
Oh, you did? Okay.
I'm going to send it to you.
Sure. I don't know if I'll get it up before we end this stream, but I can save it for next episode. You up for another episode later in the week?
I'm going to run through the... I don't know if I have another 2 hours in me right now. I could probably do like an hour.
Oh, no, I don't mean today.
Oh, yeah.
No, I burn out after 2 hours.
All right, so teams. Here we go. Teams. We have Pangea, Raga, and Maerlande. And Raga's right where we were talking.
Perfect. Oh, that map. Right. Excellent.
And then we've got... And these were the wars, I think, that were happening at the time, too. That we're talking about.
I think I can really quickly add your... Oh, no. I'm trying to figure out how I'm going to add that picture to the stream here. We've only got a few minutes. I'll save it for next time. Okay. So go ahead and...
Well, yeah, I'll talk through it real quick, though.
Yeah, definitely. And I'll...
So we've got the Arithia team is Arithia, Gath, and Man.
Right.
And they are attacking into Raga, and Raga is attacking into Man, fighting back.
Right. Right.
But in conjunction, Relay, Calum, and Midgard are a team,
That's right.
and they are attacking Maerlande.
Oh, yeah. He got into a 2v1 really early.
Right. And then you have Pangea, who doesn't really neighbor any of these guys.
No. No.
And Sack is a super solid player, but he's now in
Absolutely.
this weird position where each of his allies are in a 3v1 and he can hardly support them.
That's right. That's right. Yeah, see, I did lose that anger cock. Yeah. Oh, well. Errors. Everybody makes some errors.
Yep.
Yeah, that's a very difficult situation for the Pan team. And then, if I remember correctly, Raga was really focusing on using his big griffins, which is fine, but they're horrifically expensive.
Yeah.
I don't know if we have a way to see their bless.
It's just such a bad diplomatic situation, because if you think about it too, the other context for this is there's a war between Vetiheim, Bogarus, and Yeoman, and Papala, Zabalba, and Nicklin.
That's right. Yeah.
And what that means is the only free agents in this game are us.
That's right.
Everybody else is committed to a war. And we're not very interested in backstabbing anybody.
Nope.
Which means that 3v1, where they're attacking, there's 2 3v1s, one against Maerlande, one against Raga, with Pangea as an odd man out. It's just, that's a very stable game state that's going to be really hard for the Pangea team to get out of.
Yeah. And they had a rough go of it. They did. But see, somewhere along in here, I get enough scouts down in this pond, and I start seeing Midgard invading all over the place down here.
Yeah.
And I don't remember if you were still in the game, but we do end up doing some fighting. But we'll kind of save that for down the road and cover it. So we have done up to turn 18. I think I'm just going to wind it down. It's a good pause point. Any topics of interest for turn 18 we haven't covered?
I don't think so.
Okay. Well, I'll make sure that I have the ability to put that picture up, and if there's any other tidbits left from the chat that you think are of interest, we can... What I was asking is, we could talk about this offline, but I was just saying we could schedule another couple hours in a few days.
Yeah, I'm probably game for that.
Okay. Great. Well, thanks a ton for coming along. Really good to do this together. It helps me remember things that I may have forgotten. Oh gosh, look at how much money I'm sitting on. I must look at that.
Oh man, that's beautiful.
1,100 gold. Yeah. So this is when we start to see that the luck is really starting to pay off. And I'm very, very sure that this is when I started templing and forting up like crazy. Yeah, so I'm already starting to rock walls here. I've got this one finished. I end up templing, forting here, and forting there. This one I haven't started, but very soon.
Yeah.
So. And I don't know, I can't see if you've started more forts. I think you have. Maybe there. Maybe there. Oh, there you go. You started a fort there. Utgard. I think... Yeah, he started a fort here. So he's going for 1, 2, 3, 4 forts minimum. Maybe more. I'm going actually for 3 water forts. And I think 3 land forts. So that's quite a lot. 6 forts. No, 4 land forts, because I've got one going up here.
Yeah. That's the worst part of Atlantis, is you have to have basically double the infrastructure.
Well, the other pain in the ass is these stupid ice walls. Many times in this game, they just stopped building for a while because summer would come, it'd get too warm, and my guy building the fort would just sit there twiddling his thumbs. Because you can only build the...
Do you think you would send... what are your cheapest H1? Is it the Tungalix? Or do you have a cheaper H1?
No. Tungalix is the only, on land, my only alternative.
It might be that, if you don't have high dominion in a province you're building a fort, you might want to send a Tungulik there for a couple turns to preach.
Well, you can see I put the temple up here. And yeah, I sure could have put
Right.
them on preach.
I mean, maybe that's the way to do forts as late age Atlantis is drop the temple with the Tungulik while you have a scout building, and then start preaching on top of the temple.
Well, this lady, the hero, the queen, I
Yeah.
remember moving here, because I think she's got dominion spread as a prophet. If we look at a temple, yeah, she's not showing up there, so maybe not. But a holy four, yeah, I do send her along to do some preaching to help get forts up. Alrighty. Thanks everybody for dropping in. 11 viewers. I think that's a record. That's great. And I'll put up the schedule. I'll talk to Lucid. We'll plan for another episode. This will probably be the last episode with Lucid, the next one, because we should reach turn 25. And then it'll be, maybe I'll see if Sixth Path wants to come and join in, because he took over for you.
Right.
Or 6P, not Sixth Path. Seventh Path and 6P.
Yeah, that was like always confusing. To me, they were always like the same person.
Yeah, but they're really different people. I've gotten to know both of them fairly well over time, and they're very different people. Okay.
Yeah. All right.
Thanks guys. Yeah, thank you for coming.